we will build a test case for both the finance and the IT, which the system will have to demonstrate is working. And that's quite separate to the usability of the system, which our fee earners will need to check out, because I always order it in terms of usability, functionality, and capability. And if you don't hit all those three, then you're going to run into problems.
Mm-hmm. And so the last time you got a product demo from these providers was how long ago?
The last demo I had was probably earlier this year, which was done over the I'm trying to find the right word. It wasn't Skype; it was an equivalent. So they showed me their screen, and it was a show and tell of how that goes. But the problem with demos is that they are they're canned. Firstly, it's always up against fake data, because it has to be, because you can't have real life data. And generally, it's to show a scenario in order to demonstrate how the software works, and that's entirely different to being able to see it with the real data that an organisation has. And this is always the biggest step in any implementation, as you move from the point where you've seen what you think is a working system, which seems to be similar to what you have in mind, and then you have to have it customized to fit all the integration and links that you have. And you can't do those until the contract is signed, and that's always the big leap, and that's the big cost, really.
And how many, so of the top 500 law firms, how many are going to market each year looking for new software?
Well, I'm not really the person to ask, because I only look after one at a time.
Yeah. But I guess, of the phone calls that you're getting, and would you also say that most people use some sort of consultant in this process, given it's such a big undertaking, or are some of them trying to manage it themselves?
I think usually they talk to some sort of consultancy to help them with the process, because the real answer to your first question is not very often. If I look at a list of the top 200 and try and think about any that have changed, I can probably come up with 3 or 4 who've changed in the last year. Now, that's not an exact measure of how many such tenders are going on, because it takes probably more than a year to get the announcement out and so on. But I'd be surprised if there's more churn than if I had to be, if you told me that there were 12 making the change now in the top 200, then I'd be surprised.
Okay. So for somebody to win, they really have to be in with the consultants and keeping the consultants apprised of everything new and exciting that they're working on, right? Because they're going to be involved.
Yes, most likely. Yes. As I say, that's leaving aside the iPhone marketing. If your product is so good it markets itself, you probably don't have to worry about the other stuff, because you need to get your first client up and running successfully, and then once you've persuaded them, they'll persuade everybody else. Failing that, and unfortunately I think the market says that there hasn't been anybody that dramatically better than everyone else, then you need to get in with the people who are helping the decision makers. working with lawyers turns you into